What up? It's your boy back again, ready to talk that talk. Feel me? Today, I want to talk about my boy JV, Jonas Valanciunas, plays for the hometown squad, Washington Wizards, who currently sit at 4-21 after they just defeated the Charlotte Hornets in DC. Great team win. Was very excited. Was screaming, yelling, cheering, all that in my apartment, watching the boys take home the W. We're still the worst team in the league, but, it's baby steps. So I want to talk about JV because there's a lot of people, even before the season began, saying that, he's basically only getting signed to be traded, right? And I kind of thought the same thing, and it's still a high likelihood that he does get traded. He became trade eligible on December 15th because, as many of you probably know, when a player signs a new contract, they have a certain period in which they can't be traded. And then once that period wears off, they are free to be traded. So typically December 15th is the big contract day that a lot of players become, or newly signed players become trade eligible. Summer and February, it really depends on how you negotiate your contract and things like that. But everyone was saying, the Wizards, they're going to be bad. Why are they trying to sign high-level talent, right? Obviously, I understand that rationale, but at the same time, you need good vets to build a culture for your team. And when you draft a bunch of young guys like the Wizards did, drafting three, basically 19 and 20-year-olds in the first round of the draft this past summer, you need players there that are going to help them grow and learn and become really good players. So Jonas Valanciunas, in my mind, is someone that is good to keep around, for a guy like Alex Sarr, even for a guy like Patrick Baldwin Jr., he doesn't really play, but, just having an established guy from, across the league, several different teams, JV has played for now and had success, double-digit scorer, double-digit rebounder, really is like a prototypical old-fashioned, grind it out big man in the NBA. And I think that's what they want Alex Sarr to learn, a lot more of and develop that because, early on this season hasn't really been hitting the glass that hard, hasn't really been driving to the paint all that much. He's kind of, tempted into his jump shot a lot and takes those. And, he hasn't made a great percentage, had a good game tonight, shooting like 3 of 6, 3 of 7, I think. But, he needs to get better at being a true, face up, back down big, rebounding. He needs all of those skills. And I think Jonas Valanciunas reminds me a lot of Marcin Gortat when he was here with the Wizards back, it's probably like 10 years ago now. And, but Marcin Gortat, old-fashioned, type of player, big, strong, rebounder, hard screen setter. Those are all really important things for a big guy to learn in the league. So I don't know if Jonas Valanciunas is just absolutely going to get traded. I really could not tell you. I think there are benefits to both options, those options being trading him and the other one, keeping him on the team. So he's currently signed for 3 years. Signed a 3-year deal in the offseason with the Wizards, just about $30 million. He's getting paid $9.9 this season, $10.4 next season, and $10 in 2026-27. And the last year of his deal is not guaranteed, which makes him a much easier, trade piece because that's appealing to teams because you don't know where Jonas Valanciunas is going to be. At that point in time, he's, in his 30s now. He's 32 years old, going to turn 33 probably in the offseason because his birthday's in May. So the Wizards are probably not going to be playing in May. I'm just going to make that assumption now. But so by then he's going to be 34, 35 years old. You don't know if he's going to – you don't know what kind of condition he's going to be in. So it's good to not have that piece guaranteed. Will help you out as you kind of evaluate a trade, right? But so the biggest trade rumor that I've heard with JV specifically is him going to the Lakers, in which basically JV will leave the Wizards. In return, the Wizards will get from the Lakers Gabe Vincent and a slew of second-round picks. And if I were the Wizards and the Lakers offered me that trade, I would tell them to get the out of my office, because that is blasphemous. Gabe Vincent had a very good run when he was with the Miami Heat, and they made it to the finals. Then he got a decent deal with the Lakers, was pretty much injured all the time. And he's back this year, but he's not doing good. And this is kind of a theme with the Heat, is they find these like undrafted guys, they play super well on the Heat, and then I feel like they just don't. It doesn't translate to other teams for some reason, which is very interesting. Like I'm thinking of like Kendrick Nunn, Max Strus to some degree. Honestly, Duncan Robinson's still on the team, but he's had a very up and down career. It's like 1 year he's averaging like double-digit points, shooting as many threes as possible. Then the next season he's shooting a lower percentage, 6 points per game. Like it's just, I don't know what's going on over there. But I'm going off on a tangent, so I apologize. I'm just love talking about basketball. But Gabe Vincent, right? Let me compare his stats to what JV is doing this year, right? And obviously the Lakers are a better team, but Gabe Vincent is averaging 3.9 points per game in 19 minutes of action, shooting 34.5% from the field, 28% from three, and is barely taking free throws. So I'm not gonna say he's shooting 50% from the line, but he's taking like a handful of free throws. But so not very productive, right? And his contract is more per year than Jonas Valanciunas, but he's only signed for 2 years, so he's making $11 million this year, making $11.5 million the next year. So that doesn't make any sense to me. Like even if you want to go the expiring contract, route or whatever, like JV's last year isn't guaranteed. So this is basically he's doing a lot better, scoring a lot more points, getting a lot more rebounds, being a lot more productive on the court, teaching our young guys. I don't think Gabe Vincent does that for us. So if the Lakers approach the Wizards with this, I hope and I pray that they tell them, don't ever give me this baloney again, because I'm not doing that. Take all that baloney back to the deli counter. None of that. None of that. So, but yeah, JV, I just told you guys Gabe Vincent's stats. Let's talk about JV's stats, because if the Wizards were a better team, I seriously think it would be incredibly difficult to say that Jonas Valanciunas is not the sixth man of the year. Okay, he's played 24 games, only started 6 of them, has only played 19.7 minutes per game. Okay, that's an important piece. Less than 20 minutes per game, shooting 56% from the field. And he is putting up 12 points per game and 7.6 rebounds per game and 2.2 assists. He's passing the ball very well and almost a block a game. So he's averaging 0.7 more minutes per game than Gabe Vincent. He's putting up 8 more points per game and putting up just like a slew of rebounds as well. I don't see how that value correlates to one another. Even if you're throwing in like 3 second-round picks, I wouldn't do that. Now, another trade rumor I heard with JV was maybe him potentially going to the Nuggets, because they're not doing as well as everyone thought they were going to do. They've kind of fallen off a little bit. Jamal Murray hasn't been at his best, and they kind of need some backup for Nikola Jokic. So they have DeAndre Jordan. He's obviously He's not in the same sort of caliber as Jonas Valanciunas right now, which is fine. I think DeAndre Jordan's a little bit older too. So I heard, potentially a Jonas Valanciunas for Michael Porter Jr. trade plus a couple of picks. And, that I think is a decent deal. I would take Michael Porter Jr., but I don't really see the Nuggets parting ways with Michael Porter Jr. I think he's a pretty big part of their team. And just because you're getting a good backup center doesn't really mean that you can give up your, basically second best player this year. That I don't think makes sense for the Nuggets, right? But I would accept that trade, right? I think Michael Porter Jr. is a good player, versatile, and he's young. He's like 26 or 27, so I would probably do the trade. But I think JV is so good for the culture of the Wizards, and I would not be shocked if at least one of the vets on the team, probably, I would say most likely it's going to be Kuzma that's going to get traded, because he just hasn't really been playing either. He's been injured, he's been out. So I think Kuzma has the highest likelihood on the Wizards to get traded. I think Malcolm Brogdon has a pretty high likelihood to get traded. But I just love having these mature, older, experienced veterans on the team, because I think that's almost more important than picking the right guy in the draft. Like, I don't know if I could say it's more important, but it's extremely important, right? Like, I think players are molded fairly early on in terms of their work ethic and their routine based on the vets and the coaching staff and the people around them in the organization that they get drafted to. So for Alex Sarr and Keyshawn George and Bub Carrington, and even some of the other young guys like Johnny Davis and Justin Champagnie, who's been having a breakout season just in these last couple of games, it seems like, they really need good older guys that have been in the league and know how to succeed here. They need that. They need it like oxygen. So I personally hope Malcolm Brogdon and JV stay. Also love Anthony Gill. Hope he stays, but he's not really, frankly, he doesn't have that much trade value. He doesn't play a lot, but he's a great vet. Him and Malcolm Brogdon actually were college roommates, so I think that's also a good reason to kind of keep them together. College guys that come from college playing together and then are on NBA teams together. I feel like it's a very, very good thing to have. Like, we saw how it worked with the Knicks, and obviously they kind of broke it up a little bit by trading away Dante, which I still think was a bad move, but it works. So getting guys that already have good chemistry and know how to win together, even if it's on a different level, I think it still makes a lot of sense for your team and can help your team a lot. So so we'll see what happens. Trade deadline's coming up in February, so we're a little bit under 3 months till we get to that point, and I'm sure there might be something that goes on by that point, and if not, it'll probably happen on deadline day, because that's just how the NBA works, baby. So, but I want to know what you guys think. If you've been hearing these Wizards trade rumors, specifically involving my guy JV, want to know. So leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a like. If you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And more subscribers that come to this channel, the more content I can bring you guys. So let me know what it is. Let me know what's up. Catch you guys with the next one. Stay safe. Peace.